Set the goal of trying to run sub 3 in the first marathon. We were on pace until 35 or 36, and that's when we get sniped and the first cramp kicked in. At that point I didn't even think that I was going to be able to finish the race, but we were able to sort of get ourselves moving again and come in just slightly short of the target at 3 hours 2 minutes. So that was quite frustrating, and it was hard to take. Since that race in March, I haven't made the same mistakes. And I think the easy option would be to go out and go for the sub 3 again and tick that box. But where's the fun in that? Speaking with the coach, the goal has been set that we will try and run a sub 250. But we believe in the training that we've done. The first time is a mistake, the second time is a choice.
What actually got you into running in the first place?
I think I just fell into the sport. Obviously coming from a Gaelic football background, the only time I would have ran was when we were made to in training. So it was almost like a punishment. But I was always quite good at that. It wasn't something that I would have done in my free time or for enjoyment or as, a sole focus as a sport. But then obviously since moving halfway across the world to Bali where there is no football, I was sort of left in that sort of position where I was thinking of what the next step would be and sort of having that structured approach to my training and chasing sort of high performance. Really it was from joining a few run clubs and running with friends just as a way to socialise, and Jack convinced me to sign up to a 10k race, and me with a massive ego coming from a football background where I could run quite fast and thinking that would straight away translate into being able to compete in 5k, 10k races. I got quite humbled. That sort of lit a fire in me to pursue it and sort of see what I could do in the running space.
How do you think your Gaelic football background shows up in how you train for marathons now?
I think I was able to take a lot of good things from that. I sort of had the grit and the determination and also a lot of physical qualities that definitely benefited me in the running, but it also probably hindered me a bit because I probably came into the running game with a bit of an ego because I can run fast. I very quickly found out that wasn't the case, and it was a case of building a different type of engine from the ground up.
Do you remember the moment when you realised, I'm pretty good at this running thing?
The first time really was probably running the half in Bali, and that was quite early on when I was probably doing like 10 kilometres a week, and it sort of gave me a bit of belief that there definitely is potential there. We raced a couple of sort of 5Ks in Bali. I think around 18:59. I think 6 months after that going sub 18 with a 17:55. But yeah, them sort of times early on gave me that bit of belief. And
he's donating me some carbs so I run a PB.
You've never run a marathon, so no matter what, it's a PB.
What do you think you misjudged about the marathon?
How long the 42 kilometres is. I probably underestimated the time that it takes to build that type of endurance, thinking that I could spin 3, 4, 5 different plates at once, where I was travelling a bit more, probably just not managing stress, and also probably still hammering the gym quite a bit and thinking that I could still do upper body sessions 2, 3 times a week. And again, with the lower body strength stuff, probably overdoing that a bit. Trying to chase physique development goals and fat loss goals does not go hand in hand with marathon training, and I think that was one of the mistakes that I did make early on in the build.
And what was the biggest lesson Japan taught you?
I think the biggest thing that I took forward from it was that at the end of the day, it's about the journey. and the sort of day-to-day process. I mean, anytime that I have ran a PB or a fast race, there's a massive dopamine rush and you get a bit of a confidence boost, but it doesn't really last. It's always, what's the next thing? But I understand that I'm still quite early and still quite young in the game, so there is, you know, plenty more years and time to do that and continue progressing. But again, I am someone who does hold myself to high standards and do want to sort of push my body to its limits and see what it's capable of.
Now that you're in Valencia, what's going through your head?
Operation Make It to the Taper is in full flow. So at the minute the fatigue is high, but we're coping with it just about. And eating some good food and hopefully find myself a Spanish missus in the process. So it's been nice to come to Valencia and a change of scenery. It just gives me a bit of space to focus on what matters over the next few weeks and limit the distractions. So
How do you balance your training with your work?
in an ideal scenario, we could live the fully professional life of an athlete, but obviously we're not all afforded that luxury. But I suppose it's almost just trying to be as efficient as possible with my time and trying to plan the year out as a whole and have seasons of, you know, pushing the career a bit more, and other times of the year where training is the primary focus, you know, and trying not to juggle too many things at once and push hard in all of them, because I think to try and reach high performance or do very well in one area, there needs to be that full attention. Ungodly amount of sugar and caffeine in the morning and over the next couple of hours, but as they say, health ends where performance starts.
From failing to break 3 hours in Japan, why do you believe you can break 3 hours now?
If everything was perfect on the day, I think the fitness was probably there to just about make it onto that. There are so many things that come into play on the day. The weather, fueling, how the taper goes, and so many other things. So I was able to take forward a lot of fitness from that build and carry it on. And running a 1 hour 20 minutes half marathon in July was definitely an indicator that we are in a much stronger position, and that with another few months of hard training and doing the boring basics, we will try and run a sub 250 with the goal of running at around a 4 minute per K pace, which is obviously going to be a big challenge.
What are you trying to prove, and to who?
Just trying to prove that I can do what I say I'm going to do. And obviously it was a bit of a confidence hit not breaking the sub 3 hour mark in Japan, especially since I had been quite vocal about it and put it out online that this is the goal and this is what we're going to shoot for. It's the rewarding thing about running, is that there is no shortcuts. You can't cheat the system. I suppose there is a bit of it wanting to sort of prove that, you know, you can take big steps, and it's a case of if someone else can do it, why can't we?
Where does your head go in those dark miles?
I think when the going gets tough, I always just try and tell myself to just focus on making it to the next kilometre. If I am feeling terrible in the first 20 Ks, it's not a case of that's going to be for the whole race. You know, probably do look a bit inside, and you know, my mum's going to be coming out to support, and I mean, when I was younger, she drove me left, right and centre to different trainings, and it was probably one of the biggest reasons that, you know, I was able to sort of compete. And for me, it's just about trying to make them proud and also make myself proud, and try and hold myself to them higher standards. And at the end of the day, these type of races, it's not supposed to be easy, and the demons and the thoughts that come into your head, it's almost quite normal to have them. I think if you don't have them, then it's probably a case that you're not working hard enough.